All right. Hare Krishna, devotees. So today we have this specific topic, being a guru, an opportunity for service, not an excuse for exploitation. And students are Bhaktivedanta students, second initiated devotees with years of preaching experience. That's my audience. Okay, you can start timing me. I'm timing myself. Oh yeah. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीं। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्तस्य भद्राणि विधिनोति सुरसताम्। ओम ज्ञानस्तिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्तन कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। Hare Krishna. So welcome again. As we already mentioned that the topic is being a guru, an opportunity for service and not an excuse for exploitation. So, okay, I will start by sharing my basic aims and objectives, what I intend to do. So the basic aims is to help develop a broad understanding of the role of spiritual master as a servant of God, and to help students appreciate the mood of Prabhupada as Jagat Guru and his mission, spreading the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without prejudice. To help find ethical means of preaching to people and their role as preachers. Last but not least, to help students introspect in their personal spiritual lives the role of spiritual master as a concrete support system in the advancement of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so I will be starting by discussing a few case studies. Okay, so without wasting into time, let's go into the case studies of Srimad Bhagavatam, primarily from 9th canto and a few from 8th and 12th canto as well. This is my first case study. Vasishtha and Prasiddha, the relationship between Vasishtha and Prasiddha, you can see from 9th canto, 2nd chapter. I need a volunteer to read the content for me. Sundari Gopi Maji, would you like? Okay, yeah, come, Amrit Saki Maji. I saw your mic turning on.
Prasiddha was engaged in the duty of protecting cows at night with a sword in his hand. Following the order of his spiritual master Vasishtha, he would stand for the entire night. Once, in the darkness of night, a tiger seized a cow from the cowshed, and when Prasiddha came to know this, he took a sword in his hand and followed the tiger. Unfortunately, when he finally approached the tiger, he could not distinguish between the cow and the tiger in the dark, and thus he killed the cow. Because of this, his spiritual master, Vasishtha, cursed him to take birth in a Shudra family. But Prasiddha practiced mystic yoga, and in Bhakti Yoga, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So that's the basic summary of the whole story, the relationship between Vasishtha and Prasiddha. So in this, as we see, that Prasiddha, despite executing his duty and the order of the spiritual master, gets cursed by the spiritual master and to become a Shudra. So quite a heavy curse. And Prabhupada, so just to enhance our understanding about the dynamics between the spiritual master and the disciples' relationship, Prabhupada brings out a very crucial point here in the purport. See, Sundari Gopi Maji, please read on for me, make my life easy.
Okay. As the family priest or spiritual master of Prishadra, Vasishtha should have taken Prishadra's offense very lightly. But instead, Vasishtha cursed him to become a Shudra. It is the duty of a family priest not to curse a disciple, but to give him relief through the performance of some sort of atonement. Vasishtha, however, did just the opposite. It appears that Vasishtha was not free from tamoguna, the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that he Durmati, in other words, his intelligence was not very good. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.2.9.
Okay, thank you very much, Mataji. Yeah, so then carrying on from here, you can see as the purport is very clear that the duty of the one of as the topic goes, what is like being a spiritual master, being a guru, it is the duty of the guru to find out ways how to deliver the disciple, not to curse the disciple for his mistakes. The point being, like, if the guru starts cursing the disciple, where will the disciple go? The disciple is the disciple because he is not perfect. And guru is supposed to be better than that. So if it's like, for example, if it's very simple analogy, if the doctor starts kicking out the patients from the hospital, that's because they are sick. Neither we need doctors nor we need hospitals, and the patient will die anyways. So here the guru is supposed to show more magnanimity, and which we will see in subsequent examples as well. This being one of the cardinal points, that the guru, responsibility of the guru is to ensure that he finds out competent ways and means how to deliver the disciple. All right. So you see in another purport, I need another volunteer.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Go ahead, Yaduraj Prabhu.
Prishadra, because of his karma, was cursed to take his next birth as a Sutra. But because he took to a saintly life, specifically concentrating his mind always upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became a pure devotee. Devotion service performed by thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so powerful that although Prishadra was cursed, he avoided the terrible consequence of becoming a Sutra, and he home back to Godhead. A pure devotee is being always engaged in the service of the Lord is exempt from these laws. Laws of karma, Srimad Bhagavatam 9-14.
So here we see that even if the guru makes a mistake, in this case, as like with the specific case of Vasishtha being under the mode of Tamogun, as Prabhupada says, and Vishwanath Chakravarti points out, Krishna always sides with the devotee who is on the right track. So for Krishna, there is no such distinction as guru and the disciple. For Krishna, everybody is a devotee of Krishna, whereas the relationship between the disciple and the guru is certainly a relative relationship in comparison to Krishna. So if the guru is at fault, Krishna is not going to fault the disciple for that. As we see here, and we'll see in the subsequent examples, the Vasishtha is here despite giving the curse, but Prasiddha is liberated and he achieves prema from Krishna. So how if Prasiddha at all was actually sinful, or guru, the offender to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, can actually get such an exalted position? Food for thought. Let's go to the next case study. After making all these case studies, I'll come up with my case. Okay. The second case study, as you can see, is again involving Vasishtha and Vikukshi. Devya Srimaji, would you do a favor to me by reading it out?
Sure, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Because of violating sacrificial rules and regulations. One of these sons, Vikukshi, was banished from the kingdom. When Maharaja Ikshvaku expired, his son Vikukshi returned and took charge of the kingdom. He performed various types of sacrifices, and thus he pleased the Supreme Personality of God.
Thank you. Although this is like the section I have extracted from the summary, so it's not exactly clear here that why he was like kicked out, what was his fault. So we will see in the subsequent slides from Prabhupada's purpose. Rasaman Prabhu, do you think you can read this part for me?
Okay, Prabhu. Vasishtha could immediately understand that part of the flesh had already been taken by Vikuksi, and therefore he said that it was unfit to be used in the Shraddha ceremony. That which is meant to be offered in Yajna cannot be tasted by anyone before being offered to the deity. Srimad Bhagavatam 968.
Okay, so just a quick roundup. This devotee, this basically a prince called Vikukshi, he was like the son of Maharaj Ikshvaku. And Ikshvaku was arranging for this specific oblation to the basically passage to the rites of passage for his predecessors, for the forefathers, Shraddha ceremony. And during those times, as we know, in the first three eras, this offering of the flesh as part of the oblation for the forefathers was not restricted. Okay, Ashwamedam Gavalavyam, Ashwamedam Gavalavyam, Sannyasam Palapaitrikam, Devarena Satutpate, Kalu Parcha Vivarjay. So these five things are forbidden in the Kali Yuga, but in the previous ages, these five things, that Ashwamedha Yagya, Gomedha Yagya, then Shraddha using the flesh, Karma Sannyas, and begetting a child in one's brother's wife, these were not forbidden. But so then, according to that rule of that age, Vikukshi was ordered by his father Ikshvaku to find suitable flesh by hunting, so that can be offered. Now, what happens? Okay, let's not let me carry on with the mystery. Jasvi Prabhu, do you think you can read it out for me?
Sure. When King Ikshvaku, thus informed by Vasishtha, understood what his son Vikukshi had done, he was extremely angry. Thus, he ordered Vikukshi to leave the country because Vikukshi had violated the regulative principles.
So here what happens is, because Vikukshi, out of some like sway of ignorance, he happens to eat a rabbit which was killed by Vikukshi before the whole of the Naivedya was offered for the yajna. So because he was too hungry, he couldn't withstand his hunger, and he ate one. And the remaining of the all the hunted animals were all submitted to Vasishtha. So when Vasishtha sat down to purify that, like the Prakshana thing, so he figured it out immediately that this is contaminated. As Prabhupada is writing in the Prabhupada, you can see here, that which is meant to be offered in a yajna cannot be tasted by anyone before being offered to the deity. So, but Vikukshi has done that, and Vasishtha found it out. He complained about it to King Ikshvaku. Now, there's a very subtle point here. Okay, go on.
The Kshatriya should always be very strong, to be able to give protection to the weak. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offenses. Bhagavad Gita 16:3. One should be tolerant and excuse the minor offenses of others. Bhagavad Gita 10.4-5.
So, if you consider both the cases of Maharaj Ikshvaku and more so Vasishtha there, because the poor Vikukshi gets cursed, banished from his kingdom, simply because he ate a rabbit out of hunger. So that kind of thing should be certainly forgiven even by a Kshatriya, and what to speak of a Brahmana like Vasishtha. So then it is understood that even if one person like Ikshvaku chooses to banish his son for that kind of offense, it is Vasishtha who's in whose presence this is being happening, should have known better, should have done something to stop him. So we see those qualities which is expected of a Brahmana to be forgiving and excusing his disciples for minor offenses, rather finding ways and means to do some sort of austerity and penance so that he is purified, was conspicuous by its absence. Okay, third case. This is again Vasishtha, again involving Vasishtha. This is the third case involving Vasishtha, now with Nimi. Let's see, who do we have? I don't think we have many volunteers. Oh, we do have. Do you think Sundari Gopi Maji can help me out again?
Yes, Prabhuji, Vasishtha and Nimi. When Maharaj Nimi began performing great sacrifices, he appointed Vasishtha to be chief priest. But Vasishtha refused, for he had already agreed to be priest in performing a yagya for Lord Indra. Vasishtha therefore requested Maharaj Nimi to wait until Lord Indra's sacrifice was finished. But Maharaj Nimi did not wait. He thought life is very short, so there is no need to wait. He therefore appointed another priest to perform the yagya. Vasishtha was very angry at King Nimi and cursed him, saying, "May your body fall down." Cursed in that way, Maharaj Nimi also became very angry and he retaliated by saying, "May your body also fall down." As a result of this cursing and counter cursing, both of them died. When the sacrifice was over, the priest praying for Nimi's life to all the demigods who had come to the arena of Yagya, but Maharaj Nimi refused to take birth again in a material body because he considered the material body obnoxious.
So apparently clear with the summary. Thank you, Maji. Apparently clear. So then in this case again, we find that Vasishtha's behavior was a little greedy. So although his primary responsibility was not Indra but Nimi, because Nimi is the disciple of Vasishtha, not Indra. But somehow, okay, fine, Vasishtha agrees to or give preference to Indra over Nimi. So Nimi, when he chooses to go on with the sacrifice, he did discuss with the other priests and the Brahmanas. That means he took advice from the sadhus. So it's not that he was independent. And he had a good reason that life is very short. And like we can understand, this is not a like fake or vague understanding. A person who goes to the heavenly planets for a yajna will certainly take more time to come back. As we understand that the 6 months of this planet is 1 day of heaven. So then somebody goes there and then comes back. So it's going to take considerable time. So considering all that and heeding to the advice of the other Brahmanas present there, he carries on with the yajna. Okay, understandably, Vasishtha might be angry, but he didn't, again, the same thing might not have waited for him. But rather than asking for an explanation or, having a dialogue, he took straight away cursing to die. It's just the spiritual master, spiritual master can be, we haven't seen any example of a spiritual master killing a disciple. So then at that point in time, and this disciple is not an ordinary disciple, he's a king. But just imagine, I don't like a king, I kill that king. What happens to the whole kingdom? So no matter how much I am angry, so I have to see all the things in the proper perspective. A king being just like the guru is a representative of Krishna, king is also a representative of Krishna. So killing of the king is also equally sinful. So possibly Vasishtha had it, and then he was counter-cursed, and his body also fell and died. And we will see in the subsequent purport why Nimi's position is stronger than Vasishtha in this case, and what possible learning outcomes we can get from it. Yaduraj Prabhu, can you read this part from Vishwanath Thakur for me?
Yes.
Just this one.
Vishwanath Thakur, a body should also fall. because of your greed and ignorance of Dharma. Maharaj Nimi Kamtakas, his guru, who was on the path of irreligion. His guru was on the path of Dharma since he had agreed for donation from both India and English. Bhagavatam 9:13-5.
So here, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is very candid. He was greedy for donations. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur didn't mince the words here. Okay, now let's see what Prabhupada has to say. Murti Shri Mataji, are you available for a reading? Maybe.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Go on.
Hare Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
No, the second part.
Oh,
Yeah,
second part, okay. The religious principle for a Brahmana is that he should not be greedy at all. In this case, however, for the sake of more lucrative remunerations from the King of Heaven, Vasishta neglected Maharaja Nimi's request on this planet. And when Nimi performed the sacrifices with other priests, Vasishta unnecessarily cursed him. When one is infected by contaminated activities, his power, material or spiritual, reduces. Although Vasishta was the spiritual master of Maharaja Nimi, because of his greed, he became fallen.
So
Hare
it's like thank you, Maji. Thank you very much. So it is like apparently clear from this purport of Prabhupada writing that, like he clearly had this greed issue to deal with. And instead of like dealing his own anartha, he chose to unnecessarily curse his disciple, and not just any other curse, to die. But what possible wrong did he committed by offering like worshipping Krishna? What was the fault here? So as to invite the death of the disciple. So, and you can see that like the demigods knew better. The demigods, like they are the arbitrary here. Ojasvi Prabhu, can you read this section for me? So we'll round up the whole thing.
Sure, Prabhu. Thus the demigods gave King Nimi the benediction that he would be able to stay in a purely spiritual body, free from all gross and subtle material contamination. Thus he lived in his original spiritual body as an associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Just imagine, when Vasishta dies, he takes birth as part of Mitra Varuna. You see that he has a second birth, whereas Nimi do not have a second birth. He is going back to Godhead. So had Nimi been like faulted for Guru Avagya, or maybe transgressing or cursing one's Guru, wow, you see, how is it that at the end of the day, it is Nimi who is going back to Godhead, whereas Vasishta is getting a second birth? Again, further food for thought. Let's go back to final canto of Bhagavatam, 12th canto, another case study, Vaishampayan and Yajnavalkya. Okay, this is, I mean, of course, it's coming in the future, but just as a prelude. Let me read this out for you because we haven't yet simply covered that. When the sage Yajnavalkya was rejected by the spiritual master Vaishampayan, he had to give up all the Vedic mantras he had received from him. So I'll narrate the whole incident, but this is what it comes to pass. When Yajnavalkya was basically kicked out by Vaishampayan, and he was also ordered to give up all the knowledge he has received to obtain new mantras of the Yajurveda. Yajnavalkya worshipped the Supreme Lord in the form of sun god Surya Narayan. Suryadev subsequently fulfilled his prayers, and he gives him those mantras which were previously not given on the earth to anybody. Just an aside, Sri Ishopanishad is part of the same Vajrayana Samhita. So it is because of Yajnavalkya that we have Ishopanishad with us. And that is again apparently quote and unquote due to an offense to the spiritual master. So let's have the purport, and I specifically defer to the previous Acharya's commentaries here as well. Okay. So this will wrap up this will kind of join the dots. Amrita Sakhimaji, can you read this out for me?
The disciples of Vaishampayana were known as the Charakas because they executed strict vows to free their guru from his sin of killing a Brahmana. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. On behalf of their guru, they performed chara. vows to destroy the effects of sin of killing a Brahmana that should have been undertaken by their Guru.
See, Vishwanath Thakur is indicating that the purification for the sin cannot be, or should not be delegated or outsourced. So I am a spiritual master, I've killed a Brahmana, now I've got like these other disciples, let them do the purification on my behalf. What kind of like spiritual master is that? Using his disciples to like cleaning up his own mess. Executed strict orders for freeing their guru from killing a Brahman. Why not him? Okay, so then there it's like follows. Divyashri Mataji, can you read the next part for me? I understand it's a little bit cluttered. Yajnavalkya was Vaishampayan's disciple.
Yajnavalkya was Vaishampayana's disciple. Vaishampayana was angry because one of his disciples, Yajnavalkya, was insulting the other disciples who were after all qualified Brahmanas. He became angry because Yajnavalkya had spoken out of pride. You criticize Brahmanas who are humble as being weak? Go away. What is the use of disciple like you? Yes, I will go. When he was leaving the Guru said, give back the knowledge I have taught you.
Just imagine. Okay, it's like two wrongs do not make a right. Yajnavalkya might be out of pride. He said that okay, fine, what these feeble disciples are going to do for you, let me do the austerity like instead of them on your behalf. And he didn't like the pride. Vaishampayana didn't like the pride in Yajnavalkya, and certainly it is the duty of the disciple of the guru to correct the disciple. But how do you correct the disciple? By taking away all the knowledge from him, kicking him and throwing him out? It's like, so what is the point of having a guru then in the first place? So these are, see, all these cases we see what is the responsibility of the guru in dealing with supposed disciples who might not be going according to the will of the guru. So as he asked for it, Yajnavalkya vomited the mantras of the Yajurveda and went away from there. He did that. And then he desired to find out the Yajur mantras. Okay. So he was not known to his spiritual master. He offered his attentive worship to the Lord of the Sun. He is Surya Narayan in this case. And guess what happens? Let's read the conclusion. Maybe one of us can read. Rasamay, are you available?
Hare Krishna, yes. Satisfied by such glorification, the powerful sun god assumed the form of a horse and presented to the sage Yajnavalkya Yajur mantras previously unknown in human society. These became known as the Vajasneyi
Vajasaneni.
Samhita because they were produced from the hairs of horse, mane. Vajasya means taken from hair of the horse of the
Sun
sun
god.
god.
Vajasneyi
Ah,
is like the head or the chest part of the horse. So the hair taken from the horse, that part of that's called Vajasneyi. So the idea is here, apart from the details aside, the idea is like, unless and until the disciple is really sincere, Krishna won't side with him. So here we can see those cases contrary to the spiritual master. The spiritual master is at fault. The disciple is not going to suffer on account of that. So the guru, despite being a guru, because he is in a position of responsibility and is representing Supreme Personality of Godhead, will have to be as, like, at least more, if not as generous as Krishna himself. Now the most popular of this, last but not the least, Bali and Shukracharya. Let me trouble Vishweshwar Govinda Prabhu.
No problem at all. Vamanadeva asked for 3 paces of land in charity, and Bali Maharaja agreed to his proposal. But Shukracharya could understand that Vamanadeva was Vishnu, the friend of the demigods, and thus forbade Bali Maharaja to give this land. Shukracharya advised Bali Maharaja to withdraw his promise. Bali Maharaja had no faults, but Shukracharya had unnecessarily cursed him.
You see? So that, like, this is the summary of the 4 chapters basically. So unnecessarily he has been cursed, Bali Maharaj was cursed by Shukracharya. Again, why? Because he didn't submit it to the whims of Shukracharya. What did he do wrong? And we will see that at the last slide of this section. Vamandev precisely asked that question. What was the wrong committed by Shukracharya, by Bali Maharaj? So that we can also derive from this. That question will be asked to every spiritual master by Krishna himself. Why did you punish this guy? You see, here in 19th chapter of 8th canto, 41st verse, this is something really, really serious. Jaduraj Prabhu, kindly bail me out.
Yes, Prabhu. Maharaj Bali wanted to give everything to Vamanadeva, who had appeared as a beggar, but Sukracharya could not appreciate Maharaj Bali's promise. Because Sukracharya gave very evidence that one should not give everything to a poor man. Rather, when a poor man comes for charity, one should untruthfully say, whatever I have given you. I have no more. If one decides to give everything to the requester by uttering Om, there will not be enough for one's own enjoyment. Atmina. Now, Sukracharya is indicating Bali to swear a lie in the name of God Om. Srimad Bhagavad 8,
This is my
1940.
comment. This is my comment, because like when you are doing the promise, you are using Om. Om is Krishna. It's like practically telling him to do a Namaparad. Lying like on the strength of the holy name. So it's like, okay. And then when he refuses to do that, oh, get cursed. See here, let me just summarize the thing. Bali Maharaj considered that Shukracharya is no longer to be accepted as spiritual master. Why? For we had deviated from the duty of the spiritual master. What is the duty of the spiritual master? We were discussing the other day this verse, Guru na Sasyat. So you reverse the whole Guru na Sasyat thing, and everything falls in place, is on the Guru then at this point of time. One should not become a Guru if he is not able to, either unable or instead hinders the disciple in going back to God. So he chose, he took some time, he deliberated upon the whole point, and he decided that Lord Vishnu should be pleased under all circumstances, even at the risk of ignoring the Guru's advice and inviting the Guru's curse. So Vishwanath Thakur points out the very same thing. There would be no fault in disobeying instruction, because he discerned, he made the discernment. So now we see that was basically he dared to do something even at the risk of getting cursed from the spiritual master. So basically he didn't deviated, even if the spiritual master has deviated. So here we can find in between the lines a very subtle point, that even if the spiritual master deviates, is not an excuse for the disciple to deviate. So it's just like that. It's not that the Guru is fallen, that everybody will be punished. But similarly, if the Guru falls, it doesn't give the disciple the license to fall down voluntarily, citing the excuse of the Guru. Even after being cursed in this way by his own spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being a great personality, never deviated from his determination. So that being the point being made here. So after all these 5, okay, yeah, you see this final verse, I definitely want it to be read. Murdashi Mataji, would you read it out for me and bail me out? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So that,
When,
okay.
when,
Bali Maharaja and Prahlad Maharaja had departed for the planet Sutala. Lord Vishnu asked Sukracharya what the fault was in Bali Maharaja, for which Sukracharya had cursed him. Bali Maharaja had no faults. Sukracharya had unnecessarily cursed him. Srimad Bhagavatam 8.23.14. Since Bali Maharaj had satisfied the Lord, he had no faults, and Sukracharya admitted that cursing him was not good.
Yes, sir.
Srimad Bhagavatam 8.23.15. Thank you.
So thank you very much. You see here, like Krishna, like Vamandev, in fact, corners Shukracharya. How come you curse somebody like that? You being given a superior position, does not give you a license to do so. Even if like you have saved the life of Bali Maharaj. We know like in the previous time when Bali had a fight with Indra, then in the first instance he got killed. So Bali practically lost his life. And Shukracharya brought him back to life by using the Sanjeevani. Even that does not give him the right to curse. So from all of that, yeah, this is like I made the point. This is my observation. So with all of that, having the whole scenario, all the case studies, now let us brainstorm and try to figure out, like some of the qualities of the spiritual master that highlights his position as the servant and representative of God, his responsibility. Can we have a couple of, a list of a few qualities the spiritual master should be executing that highlights his position as the representative for his disciples? I can also, certainly I will write down all the qualities which you come up with, and then I can post it on the wall. Go on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, as a spiritual master, we should display the quality of forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Thank you.
And compassion.
Forgiveness and compassion. Thank you
This
very
is very
much. Right on the nail.
Yeah.
Go on. Next. Other thoughts? Yeah, Sundar Gopaji, go on.
Prabhuji, according to Nectar of Instruction, I mean, Jiva Vegam, Udarapastha Vegam, Vacha Vegam, that person who has all these 6 qualities can be a spiritual master. So that was these are the
Basically, control over the
mentioned.
senses?
Yes.
Control over the senses. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Yeah. So then we see here. Okay, other thoughts? What may be some of the other qualities? Yeah,
Be
go
able
on.
to guide somebody to the Supreme Lord, make him progress on the path of bhakti.
So how would you like, as a quality, good good advisor?
Good advisor on the spiritual path.
Yeah,
to get
good advisor. Thank you. So we have quite a, yeah, I understand, like 3. Okay, you already have 3. You think like another can be added to that?
Beyond the mode of ignorance, Prabhu.
Okay, at least like on the mode of goodness.
Goodness, yeah.
Okay, fixed in the mode of goodness. Good. So then, yeah, we have quite a list. Let me share that for you. What you came up with. Is it visible on the screen? Okay. So these are might be some of the qualities: forgiveness and compassion, control over the senses, mind, including you should be a good advisor. They should be fixed in the mode of goodness. Some of them. Thank you very much. So now with that, let's move on to the next section. So then we see what are some of the qualities. This is basically the basic understanding. They just try to be on the same page. Oh, I'm sorry. I turned off the screen, right? So, so basically what like coming with the mode of goodness and ability to handle the disciple by giving him good advices. So as Prahlad Maharaj says, you see in Bhagavatam, Mati na Krishne parato satova vito vipaddeta vrihavatanam adanta gopi vishram tamishcham punash punashcharvita charvananam. So the idea is like Mati na Krishne parato satova, it's very difficult otherwise to fix one's mind in Krishna. Unless and until Mahesham Pado Rajobhishekam. Sorry, that was the line. Matina Krishna Parato Satova, Mitho Vipadeta Grihavatana, Mahesham Pado Rajobhishekam Nishkinchanana. So the idea being that unless and until one is favored by the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees, so it is very difficult to like fix one's mind in Krishna consciousness. So then the guru has to be doubly sure that he is doing just that. So that the disciple, because the disciple is dependent on the guru in that sense. So that the guru should know better. That the guru is here to give him that Mahat Pada Rajobhishekam. That is the guru, and that is what the good advice, the good counsel, as Vishweshwar Govinda Prabhu came up with. All right, that brings me to the next part. Okay, based on this 5 case studies, can we come up with one sentence that highlights the mood and mission of any spiritual master in our line? In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our lineage, or in Prabhupada and our previous lineage, what is the basic mood and mission? What is the basic mood? Okay, forget the mission for now. What is the basic mood of a spiritual master? Can you come up with one sentence?
Compassion, Prabhuji?
Yeah, so based on the earlier discussion, it's like compassionate. Okay, paradukha dukhi, that's one sentence. Okay, okay.
May I share?
Yeah, please, go on, Mataji.
It is to take us out of take his disciples out of ignorance.
Wow. Yeah, tamasoma sadgamaya om jnanastimandasya
Yes.
jnananjana shalakya chakshurmilitam. That's the idea.
Yes.
So thank you very
And-
much. That's that precisely illuminates or highlights our mood of the sampradaya. And that's exactly the mission of Prabhupada, as you see. Nirvisheshunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarini. That's on the whole preaching mission of Prabhupada is based on. Nirvisheshunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarini. How would we do that? By the mood. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharini. The message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached in the mood of Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, will deliver. The mission is to deliver. The whole of the world, which is filled with Nirvishesha, monism and Buddhism and Mayavad. So the basic idea, one sentence, and there can be so many examples highlighting the same thing. And if that is not matching with the guru's conduct, so then there is something seriously wrong. All right. So now here, okay, the question being list of do's and don'ts of the spiritual master. Okay. What she should do, what she should not do, based on the cases and the result of the brainstorming. Okay, say for example, if I come back to your results of the brainstorm, I intend to use them. I ask for your feedback because I intend to use them. Okay, so if I say, okay, let me do this to make life easy. Wait, so that I can juxtapose the question here. So then it becomes easy because you already came up with that brainstorm, and certainly the brainstorm was not there with me. So wait. Okay, now the life should be easy now. Wait, just give me a second so that I can paste the whole thing and present it before you, what you already came up with here. Okay, so this is my question now based on your feedback. This is your feedback, the brainstorm. So my question is, list some do's and don'ts as the spiritual master with respect to his disciples. What may be some of the do's and don'ts with respect to the disciples that highlights these qualities? Can you come up with that? Yeah, Divashimaji, go ahead.
Guru is Acharya, so Achar Prachar is very important. So whatever he's speaking,
Alright,
whatever
lead by
he's
example. Example. That's a do, right? So it's a do.
Can I give a bad example? Hiranyakashipu.
Okay,
He
yeah,
was
go on.
not a good acharya. He had a
Yes,
lot of
not a good
philosophical
acharya.
knowledge, but he
Exactly.
was not following. I mean, achar was zero.
Oh, okay, so then, okay, fine. Don't, okay? So Sundari Gopi Maji, in your mood, I'm writing. In your mood, I'm writing. Okay? I'm trying to inculcate your mood. Don't become a Hiranyakashipu. All right. Oh, gurus, please do not become Hiranyakashipu. Thank you. Okay. Other thoughts? Other thoughts? Here are your like brainstorming based on like what should possibly the disciple or the guru should not do for the disciple or should do for the disciple. The acharya part is here. It's been covered by Divashi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Go on.
As a guru, Prabhu, you always should think the welfare of the disciple.
Exactly. Thank you. Welfare of the disciple. So that means you see Guru Karuna Sindhu, ocean of mercy. That's why you can think about the welfare. So the welfare of the disciple, that's some of the do's. That's the job of the Guru. You see that. Okay? That's coming, and again, you can be related back to the forgiveness and the compassion part. You see? Only then he can think of the welfare. All right. Okay. So like we can go on with that. But okay, at this point, let me go to the next and the final section. How about reflecting an experience? Okay, now I've said enough. Let's, for the next couple of minutes, let's reflect on a positive or negative incidents from your personal life regarding your own spiritual master that made a significant impact on your journey in Krishna consciousness. Can you come up with one? Take a couple of minutes and just write it down for yourself. Okay, Sundari Maji is already there. Just give other people half a second, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, others might not be as fast. Them take some time. I'm looking for that kind of journey.
Yeah, is the question that is written here, right?
Yeah.
Made a significant impact on your journey of Krishna consciousness.
Exactly.
Okay. May I reflect something?
Okay, fine. Murti Mataji, the floor is yours. Tell me what happened.
Okay. From a person regarding your own spiritual and that made a significant impact on your journey of Krishna consciousness. Okay. That is, I was one day chanting in the temple, Prabhupada, when the Prabhupada's Vigraha is there. So I was chanting there, and it was my initial days. I was trying to, while chanting, I thought that he might be a pure devotee. Let me think, and let me contemplate on him, his form like that. So if he's a pure, maybe he can reciprocate. So the reciprocation was wonderful. He came down from his quarters upstairs, and then he turned on and he wanted to see who is chanting here, like that. He turned on his and he looked at me very deeply, and I felt that yes, he can. And the next 10 or 20 minutes later, he again came, and I got the message that he wants to fix me up. Very nice. I thought I was quite impressed. And another point is when he will be giving lectures in public. In the temple, he's giving lectures, suppose. And then he's answering my questions. Whatever question comes to my mind, he's answering it. And this
So
impressed
what?
me a lot. And
Thank you
my
very much.
counselors, my counselors, I was not so impressed because they could not convince me that extent that my guru has done. So I'm
Thank
indebted.
you.
And all through the journey, he has guided me like this. Every
Thank you
lecture
very
he
much.
gives, and if I am present, he will be talking to me.
Thank you very much. So you are
Hare
like, you
Krishna.
already answered everything. I didn't even have to go to the stages. You said that you are convinced, like you are like satisfied, and you have that confidence that you are going to get guided. So what can you say in general about a good spiritual master? From other example of spiritual of your interaction with Prabhupada through his Vigraha. What can you say in general about a good spiritual master for a disciple? What would be a good spiritual master for a disciple? In one word. Oh, sorry, one sentence. Give a general principle.
He has to be a pure devotee.
All right. Yeah, he has to be a pure devotee, having all those qualities we were mentioning before. Thank you so very much, Murti Shri Mataji. In the interest of time, I might not take other feedbacks, but certainly the objective being to discuss what can be some, like how can we personally apply that, like a spiritual, the advantage of a pure spiritual master. Prabhupada being one, the prominent, most prominent one.
Vimal Prasad Prabhu, pardon me.
Ran out of time? Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
ran out of 50
I'm
minutes.
done.
50
Yeah, I'm
minutes.
done. Yeah, I'm done. This is the round off.
Yes.
The round off. So we enumerated a few qualities of the spiritual master that highlights the principal servant of God. We explained the mood of the spiritual master and the ocean of mercy. Listed some do's and don'ts, the spiritual master, ethical handling of the position, which is okay, and described the role of spiritual master in our own life. Okay. Questions? I don't think so, because like we already covered things.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Vishweshwar Prabhuji, sorry, did we start at 5:35? Because I wrote it down. We still have 10 minutes.
No. I think, what is the time show for you, Prabhu? Because I have...
Sorry, yes.
50 minutes it was,
50
Mataji.
minutes, yes. 25 ko, 50 minutes, yes. I'm sorry. I was thinking 1 hour.
You're done 50 minutes, right? I think we are done 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's
It's okay.
All
right.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I feel sorry to stop you at this point of time because everybody was enjoying your wonderful...
No, it's done. You see, it's finished.
Thank you very much, Vimal Prasad Prabhu, for your analysis. And I open the house for any feedbacks to Prabhuji. Please.
Oh yeah, please. I kind of, yeah, it's my responsibility to ask feedback. I'm sorry. Yeah, I genuinely need feedbacks. Let me write them down. Wait. Just give me a second so that I can write.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second so that I can write down. I need to open. Wait. Yes, Prabhuji, please go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, first of all, I love your flow, Prabhu. It was very clear, and from beginning to the end. So what I can clearly understand what Prabhu tried to say. So it was very clear. And second thing also, Prabhu, based on your presentation, everything was based on Srimad Bhagavad, on scripture. So nothing from your own opinion. So everything was based on Srimad Bhagavad. So I like that. So I could not see any room for improvement, but one or two things I noticed is that some of the text, Prabhu, is a bit difficult for me to read, was a bit small. And also the background, Prabhu, the contrast, Prabhu use which make the text a bit difficult, because I think the color Prabhu used for the text were lighter than the background or something. So makes me unable to read that. So that's all, Prabhu. Otherwise, I think Prabhu did a good job. because I really like the presentation. It was smooth and very clear to understand. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Please give him more room for improvement, Prabhu. Mataji, please feel free to. I need more volunteers to please volunteer. Correct me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Okay, Rasamai Prabhu, you want to go ahead?
You already started. He came later on.
Okay.
He can also.
Okay,
I don't know how many minutes can I.
Okay.
Yeah, it is up to Vishwashwar Govind Prabhu. He will be.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go very short. Prabhuji, we have heard you in classes also. So we know that you're very strong in Shastras. I mean, much more than, I have never heard also certain analogies or certain arguments that you give, but you have quoted that it is from this Vaishwanath Chakravarti and that. So, you're very scholarly. And seriously, there is nothing that I can find. It was a very unique topic that you brainstormed, and you kept us okay, I was like this, and you kept us, there was contact. Only I like it more colorful and all. Personal, it's a personal opinion, and it was simple, but it was plain from my opinion. But apart from that, I don't see anything. Of course, you have a speed because you know so much. I feel it's just that you know and you have it and you want to give it. So it is a wonderful thing. And please pray that we have that knowledge that you have in your brain here, so that we can also improve. With that, I'm done with this, and let Rasamai Prabhu also give the feedback. Thanks so much, Prabhuji.
Please, Rasamai Prabhu, please. Thank you, Sundar Gurmaji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Such a nice energy you have, while presenting. And I've seen consistently, like if either it was like DT worship course or something, your energy was high, and having the firm understanding on the subject matter that yes, I know this subject and I can give it to others. So you know the subject very well, and you presented very nice. So many like knowledge you have, just as all the previous like Radhika Nagar and others, they say like we should be like preparing little less, then it will be more. But it's obvious, like you have so much that it will overflow. You can't stop also. It's kind of natural for you. So I can't say much in that. So it's natural for you. Just few things which I observed and which Radhika Nagar and others they said, like even of her appearance, like if you observe your tilak, one side is like gone, one side is there, and if the background, if you can make it little blur, that will be good because backside is looking good. And the more thing is that understanding the audience, which you have already mentioned in the beginning, that was very nice that we are Bhaktivedanta students, but still I felt that still in the knowledge I was somewhere kind of like lacking. So more for me to get connected to those all things while reading also, some of the words were very difficult for me. So that can be done because all of them, they are not so fluent in Sanskrit and others. Uh, that's it. And you have such a nice thing that I know that yes, in ISKCON we require this kind of some of the shastric knowledgeable person who can give us some insight, not only like kind of Bhagavatam class. So I see a very nice future for ISKCON and for the others also, those who are coming in contact with you, so that they can get much more. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Rasamai Prabhu. Divyashri Mataji, Vishwashwar Prabhu, can I take one more feedback? I don't know. Okay, please.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Right from the start till the end, even a fraction of a second, we cannot take our eyes or be without attentive. Every point, every second, we were completely involved in your presentation and so much of knowledge and Acharya's quotes. It was so nice. Only thing was, it was a bit faster, and we were trying to be very much and it also made us think, it is not only about the acharya or guru, but also as a insignificant small servant of Srila Prabhupada, how we should be in our preaching. That it made us to think that in that way also. We are all not spiritual masters, but we are also trying to give some. It was so nice. It made us that, and overall, Prabhuji, we enjoyed the presentation. It was so nice. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Shweshwar Govind Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. Sorry, my throat is a little bad. Yeah, thank you very much for a wonderful presentation, Prabhu. Again, before I, share my thoughts, I offer my humble obeisances to all of you. I'm just sitting in this role purely because Prabhuji has given me this role. And if I say something, it's purely as a mark of my duty. So please don't take it wrong. I'm much, much lower in the ladder compared to many of you who are so exalted. So I'll just share some of my thoughts, Prabhu, if you could kindly take it in the right spirit. So, firstly, it was a wonderful presentation. It was just obvious that you come with so much of confidence and energy that any topic you talk on, you're so convincing, and you back it up with so much of proof, adhara, and shastras, as somebody mentioned, that there is no need to clarify anything at that point of time. So, congratulations on a wonderful presentation. The approach which you took also was quite unique in this case of going through a case study approach. While in my own limited opinion, it requires a lot of courage to actually go on this basis, because one by one you provided the cases and then you backed it up with a lot of debates, opened up the house for too many things, and it requires a lot of courage because given the time constraint which we are working on, but you did that, and you were successful immensely. So congratulations for that also. In terms of the point itself, you gave the right example. I was wondering right at the beginning as to whether you will have enough examples to prove this point. But the very fact that you gave us 5 examples from, except for one which was from the 12th canto, I think that itself was proof of the amount of research you have done on this particular subject. And each time you read a purport, you made a note. This is something which can be used under a common subject. Excellent for that. Just some areas of improvement which you may want to consider going forward. Again, nothing against you, just basis this particular presentation. This you started the debate, or you opened up the house for at around the 37th minute. In fact, that's what I realized. I actually thought that at the end of the case study, when you said this is what is the conclusion, I actually thought that you'll be stopping over there and you'll be opening up the question house for that. But you prefer to start the debate at that. Perfectly fine. But you again did not stop at one. You did one question, second question, third question also. And I was wondering as to which is the point at which you will close it out and say that these are my conclusion, which you actually showed at the end, because you had already done and you were driving to arrive at those points, those conclusions. Perfectly fine. But maybe I think it was a little overdone. That's my personal opinion. And especially when you open up the house without any limitation on the timing, it kind of becomes open-ended. You did try to stop one of the devotees also, but then people are so eager to speak about a subject that they don't hear it out also. Nothing against them, but that's a risk we always face. So I suggest we cap it up by saying you speak for a minute or give me 1 word, 2 words, so that we know what we have to speak. That's one thing. Second, Prabhu, also while Prabhupada's mood and mission did come out, I think you made it come out through us. You could also specify it by giving us a specific verse or a purport from any of the slokas from 7 to 9, saying that this is the mood which Prabhupada had with regard to Guru, and this is what he was against a Guru following. Maybe that would have made it explicit. You don't call it mood mission, but you could have shown that. That's one thing. Preaching application, I am not very sure. Of course, the whole exercise, nature of preaching, your aim was also one in the nature of guiding us in terms of what we should look for in a guru. I don't know whether specifically preaching application was, when we go to people to preach, what is it which we need to forewarn them on? That's something which, at least in my limited understanding, it didn't come out. Again, I was waiting to hear your personal realization. I was curious to understand why you chose this particular topic among all the others. Have you had any experience on this or any reason why you felt? Because you used very strong words over there. You said that, not exploitation. So, in that sense, if there was a personal realization which you had, which could have come to the fore, that could have connected the dots also. That's one thing. And last but not the least, pardon my hearing, but you just quoted one sloka from Prahlad Maharaj, and the second one you quoted, I'm not sure whether the first one was Andakupam, the second one I'm not sure whether it was between 7 and 9. You did quote in between some of the slokas, but would be better if you can, explicitly mention, that this is from 7.9.1 or whatever it is, so that we don't track it at that level, but at least it gives an idea that within the requirements of the mandated, presentation. Otherwise, I thought it was a wonderful presentation. It's a pity that we couldn't, ask questions. I myself had listed one or two questions, but maybe some other time we can do that, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a wonderful, wonderful presentation again.
May I respond to the feedback?
Go ahead, Prabhu, please.
Yeah, like generally. So yes, thank you very much for these feedbacks. And the last one was like why Vishweshwar Prabhu was most comprehensive, because this is exactly what I missed. And I knew I'm missing it. And I am like, because I'm timing myself, I said, okay, forget it now. So I at one point in time I had to decide whether I will be in the interest of the shlokas, I will compromise on the time, or it's like I planned 3 more verses, but I couldn't come up because correct, absolutely correct what Rasamaya Prabhu said, because instead of like 5 cases, even if I could have like kind of forsaken one of them, and with 4 cases, I would have enough time to come up with my other verses, and including like this very like the question which ultimately came around, that why I chose the topic, because that is more like a personal application part. The idea was like to having that exercise to have a personal application of how everybody can apply in their own lives, but at the same time it was also expected that I say that why this subject was like so much, it meant so much to me. So yes, exactly. And yeah, it's like the tilak of maybe sorry. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So I won't hold you back because there's another presentation.
Thank you very much again for a
Thanks.
wonderful presentation. Thank you so much to all the participants also to share your feedback and participating in all the discussions which we had. Thank you very much, everybody.
So when is the next presentation starting, Prabhu? How many minutes?
I think we will just give some time for the people to fill in their feedbacks, maybe another 5 minutes or so, if that's okay by all, unless people have already inputted. So it's about 5:42 now. Maybe we can start the next one at 5:50, if that's okay. About 8 minutes from now, if that's okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, the feedback form, can you send again the link?
The chat window, I did that first
Oh,
thing.
chat window, huh?
Yeah, if you could check, otherwise I'll paste it again.